Hi guys, it's Rachel here. I'm going to show you how to make gift idea number, oops, just a minute, I'm a bit tangled, number 9. Okay, so my husband asked me to make him this pencil case, as I mentioned in my previous video. I'm doing this before my previous video. That makes sense, doesn't it? No, because I will show you all of them in the other video made, and this is the process, so I didn't have to do it twice. So basically I asked my husband, well, I'll tell you that in the next video, in the previous video that I haven't filmed yet. Okay, so anyway, this is the pencil case, and so I wanted to show you how to make it. There are a few ways of doing it. So the first way is to just, I'll give you the measurements. My measurements are about 20, I'll show you here, a bit haphazard, aren't I? 20 centimetres, it's because I'm doing it backwards, 20 centimetres, this one's a bit less, by 15 centimetres, but that's what this made. Now this one I trimmed down. It was 20 centimetres, but I trimmed it down to 18 centimetres because my husband's pens and architecture pencil are shorter. So you just have to adapt the length to whatever you're putting in. Like if you're putting in a beautiful calligraphy pen or something like that, they can be quite long, then you would need to make it longer. So that's the measurement. You just cut your piece out, put your ruler on and cut it out. It doesn't matter if it's exactly the right length or the width. If you to get this sort of narrow sort of one here, you would need to do it about 13 centimetres. And sorry, I'm working in centimetres because that's how my brain functions. So if you're in the US and you use inches, just convert it on Google. It's really easy to convert it. Okay, so you cut out your one piece of fabric. Now, I'll show you the simple version first. So let's do the simple version. Now, I've got you on my tripod because you need to be able to see my sewing machine. And if I put you up in the arm above, you won't be able to see what I'm doing. So I'm just having a sip of coffee. So I have a few different methods of making these. Okay. So we'll bring the sewing machine over. That's good. Sorry about the shadow. So let me unpin this and show you from the start. Okay, let's just move this, sorry. Talk about disorganization. It's gone very cold. I was forced today to pull out my winter clothing. Okay, so this is the outside. This is just an old piece of grain sack. See, that to me is in the inside, and then that's the outside. Okay, and I'm not lining this. This is a very chunky monkey fabric, so I don't want to line it because I won't be able to stitch it. It'll be too thick. So what you do is you get your, now you need a really long zip, okay? And I'll show you why. You need a long zip, so much longer than, about even that, that amount longer than your project. You need quite a long zip because you need room to move. Now you flip your zip over. This is my outside of my fabric. Flip the zip over. I open it because it makes it easier. And then just line it up with the edge of your fabric. Hopefully you've cut your fabric fairly straight. Now I did not use a rotary cutter or anything like that. I just cut it so it's not perfectly straight, but I don't care. You pin your zip like this, and then it's a very quick project, and I think really, really great gift for people. And even a non-sewer can do it because this is a super easy way of putting a zip. So remember, you flip your zip over, it's upside down. It's like you've got right sides together, okay? So just move that over there. Now, we need to change our presser foot on the sewing machine. Now, I've lost it. I've got a mess on my table, and now I've lost my presser foot. Where's it gone? Just a minute. Oh dear. Now that's a good video. I've lost my presser foot. Maybe I put it away. Just let me see if it's over here. Here it is. Oh, how did you get all of the way over there? Okay, I might just turn this light on. It's very dark. It's grey outside. That doesn't help, does it? I bought a ring light, so that's going to be really good. Okay, so I've got my presser foot here. This is the one for the for the zip. Okay, so I'm going to take my other one off. I just press a little button. Each sewing machine is different. Okay, now what I want, now the idea of this presser foot, it's got two parts you can connect onto your sewing machine. I'm going to connect it on this side because it allows you to stitch without crashing into the zip part. So I'm going to put it on my, all the way over there on that side. I just sort of lower my thing down and hopefully it connects. There we go. I've got my threads, regular thread. I've got my stitches on 2.5 and I'm doing a straight stitch. I just really just sort of put it, I just want to catch my zip about. So basically the edge of the presser foot is going to run along where the teeth of the zip is. So excuse the sewing machine. I'm not even going to back stitch, no need. Just run it along, put your hand on there just to hold it. And go slowly. If you're worried about stitching your fingers, just go slowly, you won't stitch your fingers. Okay, so then pull it out. Now this is the most basic way you can put in a zip. But if you buy a zip that is, just say, a similar length to what you're doing, with this process you will not be able to do it. You won't be able to attach it. It's impossible. So what I'm going to do for a second here, this excess here, I'm just going to trim that because that's going to fray a lot. And so I might as well just get rid of that. I don't want that. I could have zigzagged it if I'd thought about it beforehand, but you live and learn. I'll put that foot there. I'll need that again in a minute. Now, what I do now at this point is close my zip. I want to close my zip, see, because I don't want my zip twisting and turning and facing the wrong way. You see, I've got right sides together. Then I can open it slightly to make my life easier. Okay, so that's just so you're sure, because if you have it open all the way down the end, it can all twist and tangle and then you'll stitch it on the wrong way. What I do is I'm going to lift this up, so I'm putting right sides together. I grab my zip like that and I'm going to pin them together. Okay, so what I want to do is I just want to line my fabric on top of the the piece that I've already stitched the bit there, just so they're kind of lined up. And I want to I'm just going to pin it this way, and then I'm going to open it, and then I'll pin it the other way. If you know, I'll show you what I mean. So I'm just going to pin it here. I've used up all my pins. Just a sec. Here we go. I've got some more here. Otherwise I get my other pin cushion down. Okay, so that's that. Okay, I'm just going to open my zip now because I know that I've got it all going in the right direction. Now, the reason why you don't use, what I found, I don't use a zip that's the same length, is I wouldn't be able to maneuver this. I would have some trouble stitching it because it's locked there and I wouldn't be able to maneuver it as well. So, or if you can have the shorter zip if you have one of these zips, a jacket zip that opens right at the bottom and you pull the two bits apart. You have to just be careful that you put them back together carefully. Okay, so now what I want to do, because I prefer to stitch where I can see the zip, obviously, so I'm just going to flip my pins around this way so I can stitch on that side and line it up again with the teeth of the I hope that's clear. We'll be putting on some more zips. I'm going to do a different method as well. So this is how I did my husband's one. Okay, it's pretty raw. Oh, look at that. That's a good needle, isn't it? Good pin, I should say. Not a needle, it's a pin. Oh, I've got a zip in the rubbish. Oh, that's the bit I chopped off. Okay, so bit of a scatterbrain today. Right. Okay, so that's that. Now we're going to bring our sewing machine back over. Put that one down there. Okay. I mean, this is really, really easy, as I said, for even someone who doesn't know how to sew so well, because you're using one piece of fabric, you're putting on the zip in the most simplest fashion possible, and well, you could hand stitch it on. That would be fairly easy, just more time consuming. Okay, so we'll put that there and off we go. And so the presser foot's over towards the right, so it's not Otherwise, the thing would be slipping and sliding all over the place because it wouldn't be flat. So you have to have your zipper. Every sewing machine comes with a zipper sewing foot. And there we have it. So that's done. Now what I like to do is then top stitch. So I'll show you how we do that. I like the top stitch because it finishes it off better. So what I'm going to do now, just so I make sure it's not, like when I say twisted, like it could go like that and then it's twisted. You don't want it twisted. So I'm just going to close it a little bit and then turn it the right way out. Okay? Just turning it the right way out. And the reason why I close the zip a little bit is just, as I said, to make sure my zipper is facing the right way. I mean, this is the easiest project ever. And let me just trim off these bits because they can get stuck in the zipper and we don't want that. Okay, and here's some more. It's very free hemp. Okay, now to top stitch. What I want to do is, so this is now the right side of my fabric. I'm going to hold this down like so. Now this is a bit chunky, so I'm hoping it should be all right, but you don't want to go more chunky than this. It should cope. I'm pretty mean to my sewing machine. I should be nicer because it'll probably go conk out one day. If you wanted to, you could do a little zigzag along there if you're worrying about the fraying. You know me, I don't worry about it, those sorts of things. It'll work itself out. It'll only fray to where the stitching is. Okay, so then I now need to, no, that's correct. No, I need to move my foot. Now I've got my zip on this side, so I need to move my foot over that side. So it's not bothered by the zip. So I just switched it over to the other side for the top stitching. Line it up about there. And I'm going to top stitch. And yes, it's going through, it's fine. But if I had put a lining, it would have been very chunky. So this is the very basic one, which I think is lovely, even though it's basic. Okay, so that side is done. Bet you never saw such easy stitching before. Okay, and then I've got to do this side, so I'll just go ahead and pin that down again. I've got my pink jumper on, it's cold. Got many layers. Just all of a sudden, like we went out to dinner last night because Lulu was out and about town trick-or-treating, so we thought, well, we'll just go and have something to eat out. And my husband went out in his still light summery clothing. That's how all of a sudden it was. And we just do the same as we did before. Now you see what I mean? Like if you had a zip that was closed there, all of this would be very hard. You would have trouble doing it. So it's not better to have a longer zip that you can open and get everything out of the way and then sew. Okay, so when you're top stitching, you do want to make sure you catch this part here, because otherwise it's just going to flip up again. It just holds it down in place. So just trim that thread off. It got caught in the stitching. Okay. Okay, so that's good. So then what I want to do is zip up my zip. I've closed it, okay? Now my next thing is I want to line up more or less in the center like that. And I'm going to pin it down just so it stays. And I want that to kind of close a little bit, that opening there. And then here, I'm just going to pin that in place. I mean, it's so easy, really easy. And then I'll show you more combat. So we don't need this anymore. We need our regular presser foot. And we'll just, now I'm going to go on to a zigzag, and I might do my zigzag at about 2. And you see here, this doesn't line up, so I'm just going to, I'm actually going to line it up with that edge, and you don't need to worry because the sewing machine will go pretty well straight. I'm not going to back stitch. I'll tell you why, because I'm going to go twice. When I get to the zipper part, I just go slowly, because it normally does stitch pretty well, but if it catches the teeth by chance, then sometimes you can break your needle. So I just take it slowly there. Go right round, leave my needle down, turn around, and I'm coming back down the other side just for extra strength. Back over where I already stitched. Slowing down here, helping it along. And now I will back stitch. There we go. And then I'm going to grab my scissors and trim it off without cutting my stitches, I hope. And chuck that out. Chuck it, just chuck it. Now, here, I think this is a super cute little project. I'm just going to take those out. I need to hold that closed as much as I can. Oh, I backstitched there. I didn't need to really. So just going to take it slowly. There we go. And now I'm going to turn around. And you could go back again 3 times. Just, you know, to whatever you're comfortable with. So at this point, to me, this is done. But you could put a bias binding there, like stitch it there and then fold it over and then stitch it down if you wanted to have nice neat edges. But that's a super easy, cute little pencil case. So that one's done. Okay, then I had another type that I wanted to do. So basically I've got another piece of the same hemp, and I've just grabbed, I'll take this one off and show you, scrap pieces of fabric. They're about 1 inch wide, so 2.5 centimeters, and I've just pinned them down, folded them over, I'll show you in a sec, all along the edge where the zipper's going to go. So that's that. So you've got a neat edge there, see? So they're folded over the other side. And what I'm going to do here, and I could choose a contrasting, I'm not going to do zigzag, I'm going to do slightly bigger stitches, 2.5 centimeters, my stitches, and I'm just going to go backwards and forwards about 3 times and stitch them down. And I'll probably start here. It's just going to give it a different look. And you could hand stitch, you could do embroidery, you could do all kinds of things. I'm just doing it with the sewing machine for speed. Okay, then I'm going to turn around, put my needle down, turn around and come back. Just make sure nothing's folded up. You might be thinking this is weird, but just bear with me. And forward. I think this one's going to be gorgeous. And then my third row, I'm going to catch the edges. I hope. Okay, so that's done. Then I'm going to come along and do this side. I love that. I love that look. It's a really great look. Make sure nothing's folded back. Lots of pins in that one, didn't I? And you could do this with bias. You get the ready-made bias and stitch it down, but I like the different fabrics, you'll see. And I didn't go, you know, I didn't choose, you could choose super pretty fabrics. I've just chosen more natural ones that I just had in my little basket. Great way to use up your scraps. Great way to use up your scraps. Okay, and that's done. Now, we're going to approach the stitching of the zip a different way now. So, grab it. I've got lots of zips, as you can see, and I like using this creamy off-white sort of colour. I'm going to leave my zip closed for a second. And what I might do with this one, so I don't get that big gaping hole, I'm just going to move it down there a little bit, and I'm just going to line it up. See, I've got my zip the right way up now. I'm doing it, I'm not turning it over like this because I'm not turning that like I did the other one. This is a different way of, this is an even simpler way of adding your zip. And you could not do this if you didn't have a long zip. It would be impossible to stitch it. So I'm just lining it up, trying to line it up more or less the same distance all the way along. Just put my pins in, and then I'll go ahead, change my presser foot. Okay, bring my sewing machine back. Have you ever seen such a fast pencil case? And I need to put my presser foot on towards the left because my zip is on that side, and I'm just going to open it because you don't want to stitch where that is. It's just, it will get in the way, so just open it out. And I'm going to stitch it down like that. Yes, I'm just having a think about it because I'm doing this for the first time with you guys. Okay, here we go. You want to get rid of these. You don't want to be zipping those up into your zipper. Okay, so now I'm going to close my zip because I don't want anything twisting. See, it was twisted. Close my zip, and this might be the fiddly bit. I need to stitch it here. See? Oh, that's going to look great. Love it. So you want to line it up with the other part. So I'll start there because I'm a lefty. I don't know. I have to put my needles in that way. And I don't want to go too close to where the zip opens. I'll leave a little bit of space. You don't want the fabric getting caught in the zip. And I'll open it in a second. I'll just put a few pins in if I can. Okay. Now it's pretty right. So now I can open it. So it's not annoying me, and now I can pin it. So closing the zip also makes sure you're able to line everything up a lot easier. So just pinning that along there. This one might be my favourite. I might have to keep one of these in my bag, keep all my pins in order. Okay, so, oops, just lift my sewing machine up and bring it back, and I still need my presser foot on that same side, and I'll just slip that under there, and I'll just run it along the edge of the tin. Oops, don't want all my threads getting tangled in there, then it's hard to get them out. Yeah, you want to go, you know, not too far from the edge because you don't want a big gaping, open, you know, sort of gaping, if you know what I mean. Okay. Love that. So then what I'm going to do is zip it up. And it's not twisted, you see. I don't like all those threads. I need to get rid of those. They're annoying me. Okay. So So again, center it. And this time I'm just going to push that back a little bit because I don't want it to get in the way. Now, one thing I will say is, just let me pin it for a second and then I'll tell you, is if you're going to sort of line your zip up, you know, hanging over a little bit, you don't want to put those teeth, those little metal bits right where you're going to be stitching it afterwards, okay? And then I've got this one here, and that's about right. And we're going to zigzag across like we did before. I changed my presser foot. So there's a lot of presser foot changing. So you can streamline the process and have a whole lot prepared and then just feed them through one after the other. So each step you're doing more than one at a time. But I'm showing you some different types. So that's why I'm switching back and forth. I'm going to make my zigzag a bit smaller. So I put my stitch down to nearly around 2. I'm going to slow down here where the zipper is. Now zippers are made that they can go through the sewing machine, but you just have to be careful, especially with these big chunky sort of metal ones. You want to be careful with those ones. I've broken needles before, so... Okay, so I've back stitched there. I'm going to trim it off, and when we've stitched the other side we have to make a decision. There we go. Chuck that out. And here again, just to remind you, you want to put your finger there, put some pressure so it stays closed, because it will want to slip open. Okay, so that's that. Now, I said I left my pin in there. We'll just see if we like it. So that could be considered done. And you've got that bit of colour going across there. But what you could do, let me just grab my fabrics, is you could decide that, I've just got my scraps here, that's why I'm not using anything too exciting. But you could just decide, that you might like to sort of finish it off in the same way across there. And I think I'm going to do that. I just want to choose what fabric will I use. I might even just use, that would be nice. Maybe that one would be better on that side. I'm just going to cut some of this. See, I'm only just sort of guessing my width as well. I'm not measuring anything. I don't like measuring. So I could just decide to sort of finish it off with that, like that. Or maybe I'd just like a hemp. Kind of like the hemp. Maybe a little piece of this and hemp. That's what I'll do. So I'll pin that down. Now I don't want to go out near my metal bits there. See if I can pin that. I don't like those pins, they don't go through. There's quite a lot of layers. So you're having ragu.
Okay.
And I just need to move that out of the way.
I need to tell you something.
Oh.
Ask me, tell you, I don't know.
What?
I hate those straws today. I hate them.
Don't go.
But I want to go, but I hate them. They're a waste of money.
Well, why are you going?
Because I want to be with my friends. I don't want to feel left out.
Oh dear, the drama. You realise I'm videoing, Lulu?
What?
Did you Oh, you're having a little hissy fit. on my video.
Asked me what, so I told you even though you're videoing.
I'm not videoing.
Leave me alone.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to lighten the mood.
Not help.
Okay, sorry, boo-boo. Right. Are you being harassed?
Yes.
By?
But I don't enjoy it because they want to go today.
But they can't go without you?
I want to go.
But you don't want to go.
I want to go because I want to be with my friend.
Okay. Oops, not zigzagging. So I'm basically going to do what I did here. And I'm just going to go slowly because it's very thick. Oh, and it's come off. You see, I didn't even catch it. Oh, no. Well, that's a flop. Didn't catch it. So I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to pin it so it doesn't move about. You just don't move. You just stay there. I'll just go down again. That's why I wasn't struggling, because I didn't catch it. I do feel sorry for my sewing machine. I really do. I think I've totally slipped off the edge right there. Oh, it's not even attached. Do you know what I'm going to do? It's not a problem. I'm going to cut it off and do it again. Not a problem. Just fix it. I'll fix that. This is how you fix your problems. Another what not to do. Trim it off. Get rid of it and do it again. So I make mistakes. You don't know how many things I've sewn on the wrong way, lining stitched on the wrong way. I quite like that. I might leave that. There you go. It's a happy mistake. I'm just going to zigzag over it because I like it. I like that little bit left on there like that. There you go. Discovered something. It's a bit like collage art. Just going to make sure it's stuck on. Oh, love it. There we go. Very nice. What a happy mistake that was. Well, let's see what happy mistake I can do over here. Maybe I'll just hold one down at a time. Oh, I'm zigzagging. I'll zigzag it. And I'm just going to grab a little piece of this one. Don't want all of it. That there, tuck it under, and off I go. And if I make a mistake, it's fine. Turn it around and come back again. But I think I'm going to straight stitch it because I prefer doing that sort of thing with straight stitch. Okay, there you have it. Oh, I like how that turned out. There you go. Just cut those threads off. Trim that off. I don't want that. Okay, well that's the other one. That's very rustic, isn't it? I bet my husband will want to take that one. That one's really nice. How nice is that? Now the reason why I haven't got a lining on there is because it's a very, very strong hemp, as I mentioned. So there's that one. That one's white. Is that one wider? No, that one's because that's got pins in it. So there's those. I've got 3 now. 1, 2, 3. And now I've got another one. Okay, so I had some pieces of stitching that I hadn't done anything with. And so I cut it in half. So it's not quite the same length. It's probably about the same length as this one. Yeah, a little bit longer. So I cut, and they will be slightly narrower. So what I did was I I line them. Now the way I lined them, I won't stitch one, but I'll show you. So let's pretend this is my stitched bit, the outside bit, and then this is my lining, okay? So just say it had a pattern there. I put it right sides together like this, and I pin them along like that. Like that. I stitched down here and down there, and then turned it around on the outside. Turn it around on the outside, and then I just pinned it along here to make sure all of my seam is nice and flat, and then I just stitched down there so it doesn't move about. And with these ones, I just did some running stitch around a few of the pieces of fabric just for decoration, and I liked that I could see the stitching inside. To create this base, if you've done my needlebook course, this is the needlebook here. If you've done my needlebook course, you create the base in the same way, and you just adjust the size. So that's how I created that base. So I just wanted to show you how I'm going to attach the zip to these the same way I just attached it to this one. But it's just to show you a different style, really. So you can make them more and more and more elaborate. It's just that I haven't had much time, so they're fairly basic, the ones I'm doing. So I'm putting my presser foot, on the right hand side. There we go. Because I've got no, I've put it on the wrong way. Because I'm top stitching, aren't I? I'm not doing it the other way. Okay, so that goes there like that. And I just need to stitch down to hold it in place, like so. I'm actually going to streamline my process and do my other one as well. And I don't care if it bunches up, it's all part of the look. Now, I've got my other one here, so I might as well grab another thingamajiggy, just to remind you. I'll leave that in there because I'm streamlining, so I'll show you. So I'm just going to pin that there. Actually, I'll pin it like that, I think. See, I'm keeping my metal bit slightly down because I don't want to crash into it when I'm stitching my pencil case shut. So that one's too short, to put that one down there. So I seem to be doing my gift ideas towards the weekend. But as I get down nearing number 12, the ideas are less and less because more complex things come into mind, but that's really would be more of a course than something simple. Okay, so I've got my thing back here, whatever it's called. Just pull that out slightly and slip in your next one. Okay, so, oh, I didn't even pin anything with that one. Take all my pins out. Okay, so take that out. Okay, it is exhausting moving that sewing machine backwards and forwards, I must say. Right, so we'll zip it closed. Zip it closed. Okay, and then we're going to do like what we did with the other one, like this. That's how it goes. Oh, this is going to be super cute. So just put it like that. Just hold it flat so they're kind of lined up. It's not easy to do this. Make sure you go through the zip. Okay, so then I'm going to open my zip once I've sort of got it lined up out of the way, and that way I can do this easier. Okay, so that's that, and now I need to do this one. So just sort of fold it down on top of it, like more or less. It doesn't, I mean, it doesn't have to be halfway because we're not stitching that bit down yet, but you want to line up your fabric there. You want to line up these. That's what our goal is here. I'm just going to grab this pin and pin it. And I think I'll open it now, because it's very hard to pin it if your zip's not open. Okay, so that's good. I think that one's a bit too close, but I think I'll pin here first, and then I'll, because I didn't want to lose my positioning. Put that there. And there. So it's a public holiday here in Italy for that, you know, like the kids now celebrate Halloween, but it's really come from the States. They never did it before. It's something new for the Italian kids. And it's the same in Australia. We didn't celebrate Halloween when I was a kid. It's not in our tradition, but the kids do it now. I see all my friends' kids, you know, photographs, and they all dress up and go and do stuff, trick-or-treating and things. Of course, yesterday I totally forgot about it, and I wasn't prepared for any little kids coming along trick-or-treating, so I had to just not open the door. I had to pretend like I wasn't home because I didn't have anything to give them. I didn't even have an orange. Oh, I could have put my other one through there. I didn't. And saved on time and thread, but anyway. Okay, that's in. We'll do this one. So I might see if I have any bias that I like ready-made, and I'll show you how you do that. So let's zip it closed first, make sure everything's going the right way, nothing's twisted. Okay, good. Let me trim those off, don't want those. Okay. Oh, very nice. So, if I just sort of make sure that's in the middle, more or less. I still like to zigzag it shut. Just makes, if you want to, you know, then put bias or anything like I did with the other one, then it just makes life a little bit easier. So that's that one, and let's do this one. There we go. Oh, isn't that pretty? Because also you don't know what it's going to look like until you sort of close it. So this one's a little bit, these ones are a little bit narrower, but I like the narrow ones. It's just like a nice little pouch to put a few things in your bag, really. Or like my husband, he has his special architecture sketching pen that he likes to use, and a sketching pencil, I should say, and his lovely pen that he likes to write with. Okay, so we'll zigzag across here, bring it back down. Okay. Oh, I've got my wrong presser foot. There you go. That's another what not to do. Change your presser foot. Lucky I realised. Don't know what would have happened. It probably would have worked, but oh no, you can't zigzag with that presser foot on. Don't do that. Break your needle. Okay. And here I'm going to streamline, you'll see. Okay, back stitched. Now I'm going to put, see, I'm going to slide this one in afterwards, a time saver and thread saver. Turn it around and come back. I did that on the other one, yes. Just trim that off. And I can trim that off. I'll trim it a little bit closer. There we go. And then I can come back and do this side without taking out the other one. Oh, I need to open my zip. So you can have so much fun with these. You can do embroidery, you can do all kinds of things. Obviously, like these are cotton fabrics, but they were stitched onto a base. If you're, oh, I need to go back actually before I get distracted. If you're using thinner fabrics, you might want to do the lined method. Trim my excess off here, just being careful not to trim my stitches, because that would be the beginning of the end, in the sense that it will start to unravel with time. I'm definitely going to keep one of these. I don't know which one. Anyone can make these, anyone. Trim that off. Okay, so now, I mean, in an hour, how many did I make? Oh, except of course if you're going to do the hand stitching on, like with these ones first, that takes a while. They do take time. Okay, so with these, oh, I didn't trim that one off. With these, I could decide to clash, couldn't I? Oh, no, maybe not. Got these lovely fabrics that Michelle sent me. I could decide, I'm just going to trim a little piece off and see. Oh, I was going to look at the bias, wasn't I? We'll look at both options. So this could be an option, is to put that on there. I kind of like the raw edges. You could do something like that there. I kind of like the raw edges though. Let me just see down here. I mean, not this one, but I've got these. These are just they're biases. So you could put something like that. I quite like that one actually. I don't think I'm going to stitch that one on there. I'll just leave it a bit longer and then I can trim it off. So I think I'm going to just do both the same, or will I do them different? Oh, now I'm getting excited. Oh, just a sec. Sorry, guys. Oh, I might do two different. Keep changing my mind. Well, that's pretty normal for me, isn't it? If you have it like that, bias to me is probably, well, you could probably do it. Just, but this one's slightly wider. It's about an inch. Yeah. Okay. So, now normally when you stitch bias on something, what you normally do is you flip it over and you open it out and you pin that and then you stitch down there. I could do that if I wanted to. And then you hand stitch that down is what you normally do. I'm just going to be bodgy and do my messy stitching. and go backwards and forth, because that's really the kind of look that I'm going for. I'm hopefully not going to do any happy mistakes here. Let's see if I could get a pin in there to hold it all, I'd be much happier. There we go, got it. That one, and then that one down the other side. There. Oh, I do like this. Happy with this decision. I like it more than the doing it with the fabric. There we go. So that's that, and let's do this one too. This one could have all the same because it's similar colours. Yeah, I think I'll do the same colours. Hi, Steffi.
Hello. Good to know.
Yeah, I'm doing a video. I'm nearly done.
Okay.
Okay. I must go and get some more of these. I love these biases. They're very pretty. Nice colours. Right. Oh, this is a bit of a long video, nearly an hour. But we got a lot done. Okay. So that's that. Just want to be careful not to stitch over that metal, do I? And have a bit more on that side. You'll soon see if I break my needle. Okay. And I'm not going to zigzag, I'm going to straight stitch. Just put the fabrics over there. Okay. Nearly done. Straight stitch. Oh, I turned it off. Ideally, I'd like to go 3 times. Hopefully I don't catch, I'm going to catch that metal, I know it. I'll just go very slowly. No, missed it, missed it, missed it, missed it, yay. So you just want to be aware of that, and back stitch. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is just pull it out slightly and do this one. This one I'm ready to go. And I'll trim that off very carefully. I don't want to trim my pouch. Okay, love that. Oh, I got distracted. Admiring the handiwork. Okay. Rightio. Trim that off carefully. Oh, okay. Trim that off carefully. Okay. Where's my middle bit? Oh, it's down that side, so I don't have to worry here. Okay, and then the last bit, and then we're done. Okay, trim this one off. something bodgy there, but who cares? Okay, and then one more. Okay, and I am done. So I'll show you what they look like with the pens in too. Just trim that off. Okay, right, now where's Steffi's pens? So this is the original one here, and then if you put the pens in here you can certainly get a better idea. See, his pens are short, but you can fit pencils and things in here, and you as I said, you just adjust the length. Aren't they nice? Oh yes, super nice little pencil case. That one's got a little bit of hand stitching on it, bit of fluff on it. That one, and then the other one. So these obviously are lined and they're a bit thicker than the stronger than, well, this is a very strong hemp as well. So that's that one. And then, oh, I like this one too. This is slightly bigger. So it just depends where you want to put it. Like you can fit more in this one. These ones are narrow, but I think the narrow ones are really cute. So that's that one. And then this one. Is that all of them? I think so. Oh, okay, quite a few. And that's that one. Aren't they nice? Just lovely. So there you go. That's gift idea number 9. And then we'll be back next week with gift idea number 10. I don't know what it's going to be. So there they are. So thank you for watching. And I hope you enjoyed that and you make lots of them. And I will see you soon. Bye.